Yeah, so I think right that's the thing about this Barcelona team. They are similar to Real Madrid. They are young. They have no problem scoring goals, but they lack the
Decision
defensive
making.
maturity. Bro, if
Yep.
you have like a Carlos Puyol there, right, you win already, bro.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Futbol Kaki. I'm your host, Elder, and I'm joined by my fellow Kaki bro, Paul. Paul, how you doing, bro? On this Visak day.
Not too good, bro. I sprained my back during over the weekend.
Wait, what were you doing?
Friday I did deadlifts, right? So no problem, no issue with my back whatsoever. Saturday
Yeah.
I did house chores and then I decided to mop the floor and everything. As I was done already, I wanted to wash the pill. I bent down to take a pill and then I felt something. I pulled something after that. Can you imagine? Like I did all the hard work already, and then over a simple task to just wash the pill, right? I pulled my back. Yeah, so that was like Saturday evening, like that. I pulled it once or so last year. So I think it's just I think I need a few days off and then I just put like Yoko or like Salon Pass and then be okay.
Is there something that maybe like is not moving or is too stiff in your back?
No, I think it's the angle in which I picked up the pill. Because I didn't pick it up from the normal, like, I just bent down and pick. Like,
Yeah.
I tilt sideways, then I wanted to take something, like that.
But that one okay, what? Usually no
Yeah,
problem.
normally okay, bro. I don't know why suddenly I felt my back loosen. Then after I know already. I put the muscle, yeah.
No. Hey, but it happens as you age also. Like the other time, right? I was helping somebody pick up something now. Then it dropped on the floor. Then I was like, like you brace yourself, then you breathe. You're like,
You may not even.
Then you go down, then
You question yourself whether you are even able to pick it up properly, right?
Yeah, like it's like, do I really want to do this? Why does it hurt so much? Like it's like small little things, lah. But I mean, it comes with age. I think you were expecting it sooner or later already. Right?
And also, I think that the past few months, right, I haven't been like training my core properly. So a week back is mainly due to a weak core. So yeah, I think that mainly that. So I need to go and strengthen my core after I recover from this, lah.
But
It's like a honest thing that I have to do it, huh?
No, like then like that, the easiest way to strengthen your core, right, is you just take like 2 heavy ass dumbbells then walk around, like legit.
I mean, I'm not referring to specific exercise. I'm just saying in general. Like I need to
I know.
work on it.
But the thing is that it's because that one is a functional exercise.
Yeah. But I don't for sure, bro. For sure.
Thing. But since today's Visak Day, right, like we have in Singapore had 2 weeks of like public holiday, which I'm a bit shocked. Considering the fact that Good Friday was last month, then we got like Labor Day and Visak Day this month, right? Like honestly, bro, what's the ideal way to spend a public holiday? Like because now for us we're all working adults, right? It's few and far between that we get like maybe a proper day off.
Depends on whether prior planning was made. So some people, right, like okay, let's say these are some couples. They public holiday morning, let's go and do this hiking. Okay, then it's okay. If you start your day early, you can do a few activities. And then maybe afternoon you all go hit back already.
Yeah.
But if we like people like us, like no plans, right? Today, bro, perfect day is just to sleep in, do what you want, bro.
No,
as simple as it is. Yeah.
I had this thing, right? I was like, I would love to sleep in. But I feel that if I sleep in, I also underutilize my day. Okay. But the problem is that if I underutilize my day, right, technically I also got nothing to do.
Yeah, so I think so sleeping in is one. I do feel that it's also a good time for you to catch up on things that you have been like putting off.
Yep.
Yeah, for me it's like bro, for me is I want to edit my photos from my previous holiday, so I haven't even done it, So like my Germany trip I haven't done, my Japan trips I haven't done. So it's something I procrastinate a lot.
Yeah.
Editing photos. Yeah, so it's one. I think I'll do that. I'll work on it later after this.
Like for me, honestly, right, like I was so happy that this fell on a Monday, right, so that we can record it.
And can I just say, if this was last week, right, bro, we could have caught the Miami GP, lah. Yeah. I would have definitely watched it for sure.
I don't know.
For sure. I don't know about you, but I would have definitely watched it.
To me, right, the highlight of the F1 weekend last week, right, was not the Miami GP itself. It was the Lego GP.
The Lego GP, right? Yeah.
It's
pretty cool, yeah.
It's damn cool. Like if let's say for example, right, like even for us, like, just as like Lego people, or like people that observe like Lego, right, the fact that they built 10 different full-size Formula One cars that could move.
I think, right, bro, it was like a mini. It was like a rover that they built the Legos on top of like a standardized rover, right, for all 10 cars, for all 10 teams.
I think they did something, but the thing is that there's definitely a mechanism for them to be able to move and steer. So 100%,
I think there's like a mini cut underneath. Then they just built the Lego around it. Yeah. Then they changed the steering wheel to the Lego steering wheel. Right?
But the fact that they were able to do that, right? And it's not the kids Lego bricks, like the big ones. It's like the small standard adult ones, right? Like, that's insane.
And the fact that it could take like 2 people's weight, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I think it's pretty cool. But do you see the damage they do on all of it? They almost wrecked everything, yeah.
They knocked the coins and everything. But I mean, like, people were saying that it's not good publicity, or it's like the craftsmanship, everything like that. Lego don't care, bro. Lego is like, it's just a very good marketing ploy.
The fact that you can get all 20 drivers to drive a Lego car, right? I would say it's a win for them.
It's a win for them, bro. And the fact that now people will want to buy the Formula One like small Lego car just to go and make it.
Yeah, I have it.
They can do that whole thing.
Yeah.
Like you get what I mean, right? Like, people will still want to go and make the Lego car. But I really think that was very cool, yeah.
Yeah, it is, bro. I think Miami and like I just want to say, like, I think F1 this year, every GP, they will have something unique. I feel to their own specific. But like, one team will have something unique about each race.
Yeah, but this one, right? Like, honest,
this one is win across F1.
The Lego win across the board. This one is like really just is the most interesting like thing. Wow, my hair's a mess, yeah.
Yeah. But sick, I think like pretty cool.
Yeah, then they released like the whole video on YouTube, so it's like really freaking cool.
They say more interesting than the actual race.
Yeah. That's why it's very funny, and like all of them were having fun. So yeah, we can see that Lego hit a jackpot with that one, right? But here on this Vesak Day, hello everybody. To all those that are celebrating Vesak Day, we wish you a very good Vesak Day. We are the Futbol Kaki. We are here to talk about the football that has happened over the weekend and of course the past week, right? So today, on this week's episode, we're going to cover definitely the European Semi-Finals of the Europa League and the Champions League that happened over the past week. There were certain things that I think we specifically want to talk about, and the fact that Barcelona, the favourites for the Champions League, are out of the tournament. And I do think, right, like, controversial topic, right? I do think that is Lamine Yamal's fault. I will explain why. And then we've got the All-English Europa League Semi-Final, where the 16th and 17th place team in the EPL will officially be fighting for the Europa League. But later I'm going to ask Paul, right? And there's controversy about this. Is it deserving of them? Because there's been a lot of talk about the rule of Europa League winners entering the Champions League next season, despite of their league position.
Yeah, as in...
there's questions about... Basically, it's like, to the people, there's questions about merit, which I'll ask, and we'll talk about later. Who's going to win and who's going to be in the finals, we're also going to talk about that. And the fact that in the EPL, right, the topic of the week is that Arsenal are knocked out of the Champions League because they decided to focus on the Champions League and are now officially in jeopardy of losing the Champions League spot. Yeah, but we give a guard of honor to Liverpool later. They have to give a guard of honor to Liverpool. So let's talk about that, and that is this week's episode. But before we get into that, bro, what's going on this week in the world of football?
Bro, in the what's going on, right? Harry Kane has finally won a trophy, bro.
Yes.
The same year that Spurs is in the final. So I think if you were him, right, you would take the Bundesliga over Europa with Spurs.
Okay. Here's my. This is just me. This is just me, right? Like, not considering the fact that I'm a Man United fan on the shirt. I would say that, like, even though you win the Bundesliga, right, and Europa League could be a possibility, right? The thing is that if I'm Harry Kane and I buy Munich, right, I will have a higher chance of winning the Champions League at Bayern than I would at Spurs.
Spurs, yep.
Yes. So long term wise, right, if I want to win things, right, I would rather win a Champions League over a Bundesliga. And Bayern has a better team to do it rather than Spurs. That's the purview that I get. I don't know about you. What do you think?
No, actually, I'm talking about this season alone. Like, because he made the choice to go to Bayern, right?
Yeah, he went last. He went last. He's been
second season. Second season already.
Second season already.
Bro, time flies, man. I thought it was just his first year. Okay, so
they lost. They
didn't win last year. Leverkusen won, right?
Leverkusen won. They didn't win last year.
Okay, so now that he has won the Bundesliga,
yeah,
do you think that it is more significant that if as compared to if he was at Spurs now and they're playing for Europa League final.
Yep.
Do you think the Bundesliga is more significant, or if he had stayed with Spurs and won the Europa, would that be more significant?
Okay, I feel that if he had stayed at Spurs to win the Europa, right,
It's more significant, right?
it's more significant, 100%. But the thing is that it also begs the question, right, on whether or not Spurs would have been in the Europa League if Harry Kane was there.
Why not?
Yeah, they could have been in a better position in the Champions League.
Maybe.
Fighting for Champions League spot. So there's a chance that
And then
even
eliminated somewhere out.
and then eliminated somewhere. So
Yeah.
so the thing is that there is that possibility in that scenario where even if Harry Kane was at Spurs, they may not be in this position at where they are. That's what I think. Because I think that if Harry Kane was at Spurs, Spurs would be a Champions League team. That's what I think. However, if everything played out exactly the same scenario as it was now, if I was Harry Kane, I would also still want to leave out, because even though I'm winning a Europa League, right, you're still 16 in the league.
So you'll win the Europa then leave.
I'll win the Europa then leave.
Okay. Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think if he had stayed with Spurs and won the Europa, it would have been more significant.
Yeah.
But in terms of whether it will be beneficial for his career, I don't think so, lah. Right?
Yeah.
You'll still be stuck with Spurs. So, yeah. So I think now that he's won the Bundesliga, I think maybe within the next 2-3 years, he can aim to win Champions League at least.
Yes.
And then if he does that, right, his career portfolio will look so much better. Because he's like been known as the player that never won anything, right?
Yep. And the fact now, right, like he is the prime guy because Thomas Muller has officially left Bayern.
Oh yes, I was going to say that. So
Yeah. So Muller's leaving Bayern, right? And there are rumors that because Xabi Alonso has left Bayer Leverkusen already, he's going to Real Madrid. Highly likely, because I think it's kind of confirmed that Ancelotti will be managing Brazil. From what I heard. So with that, once that's moving on already, right? Like Harry Kane's the main man at Bayern already, and he will get help in the form of Florian Wirtz, who is rumored to be already having an agreement deal with Bayern Munich.
That's so unfair. They will have Musiala and Wirtz.
Precisely, bro.
So that's unfair, man. Yeah, that's unfair.
It's not
both
fair.
German,
It's not fair.
both German camps, right?
Yeah, both German.
Yeah, it's not fair,
and
bro.
They will have that moving forward, right? To basically bolster their chances of wanting to win another Champions League.
Yep.
Which now, right, because of the fact that Muller left and like Wirtz is coming in, right, the edge of the attack is
Reduced.
lower, lah.
Yeah.
It's reduced, lah. Reduced, right? And Harry Kane, honestly, right, you don't need Harry Kane to run. You just need Harry Kane to score goals.
Yep. He's the top scorer, 25 goals.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So it's like it's like you don't need Harry Kane to like run around or whichever. Right? You just need him to get into the positions to go and score and get goals, man. So at the end of the day, goals wins you games, man.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's pretty much quite good what's going on, right? But like just before we go, right, comments on Xabi Alonso
Going to Real Madrid.
going to
We foresaw this, bro, last year. He himself said what? He will commit to Leverkusen one more year after they won the Bundesliga, right?
Yep.
So I think it's a good way, lah. Like they are I think second now.
Yeah.
So I think they really consider the title to Bayern. So yeah, lah. Time to move on for.
Barca.
No. As in Bayern, Leverkusen.
Leverkusen consider that the title
to Munich.
Barca.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Real Madrid.
Yeah. So I think, and the fact that now Ancelotti left, right? So there's a vacancy for Real Madrid.
Yes.
And then there's no better timing for Xabi Alonso now, lah.
Yeah.
If you miss this opportunity, right, the train doesn't stop twice, lah, for you. So
No, it's true, right? But I think that Real Madrid need him, lah, because they need him to juggle a younger team. Yeah, I really think, because honestly, right, like just before we get into like the main stuff, right, we're gonna talk about the Champions League, everything, right? Real Madrid were leading 2-0 and then they lost 4-3.
Bro, it was 4-3 it was like 3-2 in less than half an hour.
Half an hour, but they were leading 2-0.
Yep. So I was quite insane. I was watching and then like, they got chance to make the La Liga more exciting. They realized that
They lose.
this Madrid, they cannot seem to beat Barca this season. I don't know why.
No, I feel right, like it's literally because of the teamwork. The defense is horrible, bro. They need defenders. That's why now they're targeting Saliba. Like, they really need defenders. They are bad.
The attack is okay, right?
The attack is okay. It's the defending is just horrible.
Yeah, so if you score 2 but concede 3, then what's the point, right? That kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and it's not 3. It's like 3 in half an hour.
Yep.
So it's like So
it's like a complete
what's the
meltdown.
point?
Yeah.
Correct. And it's been that way ever since they got knocked out by Arsenal.
Hmm. Yeah, lor.
So-
So I think it's, yeah, like you said, defenders is what they need.
Never mind. We'll move on to the main portion. I think let's go Champions League then Europa League. Is it okay?
Yep. I think that's fair.
So in the Champions League, the final has been decided. It will be PSG versus Barcelona in the
Inter Milan,
Champions League
bro.
final. Oh yeah, sorry. Because of the whole thing, right? Okay, sorry. So it has been decided that it will be PSG versus Inter Milan in the Champions League final, a final that I think most of us did not really kind of like expect. It is a final, right, whereby it is purely based on team football.
Bro, I expected this in my silent wish. How was your Make a Wish Foundation?
Hey, don't make fun of the Make-A-Wish.
How was your Make a Wish? Your prediction, I mean.
I didn't make a prediction, right?
You just wanted to see how things pan out.
I just wanted to see the thing how it goes, right? Because anyway, right, to me, if I make a prediction in my heart, right, anything that comes out of my mouth to you is probably going to be a lie anyway. So there's no point. So it was like, I was like, okay, let's just talk about this, right? Like, Barcelona collapsed against Inter. They were leading literally, right, 3-2.
With like
a few
6 minutes to go, right?
Yeah, with a few minutes left, right? There was no chance in the fact that Inter should have come back in this game, right? And I wanted to say this, and I'm going to say it earlier, right? Is I do feel that the fault lies with Lamine Yamal.
Oh yeah, he gave up the transition, right?
I have to say that, right? It's because why on earth with 3 minutes left in stoppage time, 3 minutes, right? Why on earth, right, would you take a ball, run down the right flank and take a shot?
He wanted. I mean, like, could see his intention, ma. He wanted to kill the game off.
Correct. He wanted to kill the game off, right? But the thing is that in any given situation, right, any experienced team, any experienced like group, Champions League semi-final, 3 minutes left, right? Play it safe, keep the ball.
Yeah, but he hit the pole, right?
Bro, that's the thing. He hit the pole because he took a shot. He
Yeah, but
could have run to the corner flag.
he
He could have run to the
he
corner
could have
flag.
scored. Yeah, I understand. It's
No,
a lot of what if could have. But
Correct.
I think the more important thing was they gave the ball away after that.
I know. So
It wasn't
the thing
because of
is-
him.
No, but okay, I look at this. He did that, then they gave the ball away. But the thing is that if they had just run to the corner flag, right, and played the corner for 3 minutes, right, kept the ball there in the Champions League final.
Yeah, so I think, right, that's the thing about this Barcelona team. They are similar to Real Madrid. They are young. They have no problem scoring goals. But they lack the
Decision
defensive maturity. Bro, if you had like a Carlos Puyol there, right, you win really, bro.
No, I
You
agree.
need a leader in defense, I feel lah.
Yeah,
Or in like a defensive midfield sense that like maybe like a Busquets, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't really know who's the captain now actually. Lewandowski, is it? I think it's
Not
Lewandowski.
Rafinha, meh?
I see Rafinha. So I'm not very sure. But then yeah lah. So I think defense wins you titles, right? So I think yes, no doubt they could have scored one more and like put the game to bed, right? But in that moment, like you said, 3 minutes left, I think you should be defending properly, seeing the game out, game management wise.
No, it's not only that. It's like if it was Pep, if it was Mourinho, and I'm not blaming on Hansi Flick, right? First instinct, right, and I think Hansi Flick would probably have given the same instruction. First instinct, right, is you take the ball, you keep it,
Yeah.
and you bring it to the corner flag, play the corner for the next 3 minutes. Just don't let it come out. Because the thing is that what you're doing is that you're keeping the ball away from
Your goal, right? Yeah.
your goal. So you keep the ball there, you just time waste for 3 minutes, right? Even if they're not time wasting, you're playing corner flag, right? There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It is a well-known tactic that every team uses, right? You do that, you seal your place in the Champions League final.
Yep.
But because you did the attack, then you lost the ball. In the next 3 minutes, right? A service scores, put yourself in a position whereby
Like you have to play extra time.
you had to play extra time, which you didn't technically even
Have to.
should. You didn't have to be in that position. It was a self-destruction. You play extra time, and then Fratesi scores. But the problem was that by the time the goal from a service was scored already, right, the momentum switched over to Inter already. Barcelona had no momentum anymore.
Yeah. Your players all
Because you were
gone already, right? Yeah.
They were like what 6-7 minutes away from a Champions League final.
Yeah, that's what I say. I think it's the naivety of young players lah.
Yeah.
To think that they can just score and then win. I mean, it's not a wrong way to do it lah, but in crucial moments like that, I think your defense is more important.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like not just a Champions League, like even a league title. Like I remember like when Man United won the league title in I think 2010, 2011, right? Then they played Blackburn. All they needed was a point.
Bro, so they equalized that. They equalized them we what, right?
Yeah.
Hey, then we just 1-1, right?
1-1. We just
passed the ball for 45 minutes.
For 45 minutes, like,
and they were happy to let us pass it, right?
Because they needed a point to survive relegation.
They need a point, relegation.
So it's like you have to be aware of that type of thing where there's no need to compound anything just out of nowhere. Like keep the ball, and then you have won the and you have gotten to the Champions League final already. Yep. But because of that, right, you are knocked out of the Champions League.
Yeah. So I think when in extra time when Inter took the lead, right?
Yeah.
Bro, the moment they take the lead, they're not gonna let it go. Yeah, they won't let it go already. Yeah.
They won't let it go already. They won't.
Because
they will
the
not
whole
let it go the way
game, Inter was playing catch up.
Yep.
Yeah. Or they were playing either catch up or they were at like level for a certain period of time. Not one point did they take the lead, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So if they did take the lead, right, I think we would have ended in 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Inter style, yeah. So I think very well deserved for Inter.
It's well deserved, right? But the fact that it's not 7-6 on aggregate, bro, is mad.
It's like a FIFA game.
It ended 3-3 with both ties.
It's like a FIFA game.
Yeah, like even if like I will say this, even if there was a away goal, right, it would have still gone into extra time. Yep. That's how mad this was.
Coming from like Inter, right? We always think that it's a low scoring game kind.
Inter, they won't score one. Maybe you get 1-0, 2-0. That's how they are, Inter, right? But moving on to the other side, congratulations to Inter Milan.
Yep.
I think they have a better shot this year. But moving on to the
2 finals in 3 years.
Yeah.
Because that has to stand for something, bro.
Yes. But moving on to PSG, the team that has lost a Champions League final to Bayern Munich before. They have knocked out Arsenal pretty easily. Easily, bro. Like I don't want to like say this or that, right? But I'm just gonna call it as it is, Arsenal choke.
Bro, the first 10 minutes you could have scored like 2.
Then there's one goal that Saka
open goal, yeah.
Open goal sky. How you
gonna justify that?
How you gonna justify that, bro? He just had to just guide it into the net. It's like the bar.
It was raining, bro. We mustn't forget that it's been raining.
It's been raining.
The ball was wet, bro. Gotta give them chance, Yeah, but the way they shot themselves in the foot, I think.
Never mind. Expressions oozing. Ale. Where was Martin? No sugar. Ale. Don't forget, we got make firework from your timber.
They say where's unlucky Bukayo? No Bukayo Saka.
Where's Bukayo Saka? Honestly, like
I think
PSG
deserve to go through, bro.
Huh?
PSG deserve to go through.
PSG 100% deserve to go through, right? It's because like this is what happens when you get too hyped about beating one opponent.
Yep.
Honestly.
No, you beat Real Madrid, then you thought you won the Champions League, right?
Yeah.
Which is something which is something that they have been doing. Like they celebrate too early. Right.
Yeah.
I remember that time they draw with City, then they celebrate like they won the league, right?
Then boom.
Yeah.
No, it's like there's too much of like
they get overhyped too much. They get
overhyped too much. They don't know how to like
control
control their emotions, calm themselves down. It's like I get that you beat Real Madrid and you denied them a Remontada.
Yep.
But still, no difference. What? You still got knocked out. So I'm like, Arsenal. I feel that it should have been worse. But at the end of the day, right, PSG deserve to go through because PSG pretty much like they took their chances. It's 3-1 on aggregate. It's not as high as scoring.
Let me ask you again. Because if you saw the first leg highlights, right, and the second leg highlights, it's as if they cannot score without set piece.
Yeah.
Like the first game, right, they become Stoke City, do you see?
Yeah.
This Thomas Partey just like, bro, throw in merchants, It's like they have to rely on that to score,
Yeah.
So like if PSG neutralize that, there's no way they can score. Okay, then maybe they did get a bit lucky with the Saka goal lah. Like the way he round the keeper. It was a bit like a 50-50 ball, and they just managed to end up in that situation. But other than that, bro, no free kick, no corner, no throw in. They cannot score, bro.
No, it's true. They cannot score a goal from open play.
So they become Stoke City. Right.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Bro, the first league I saw, the way the amount of throw-ins this long Thomas Partey do, right? Bro, it reminded me of Stoke City, really.
No, it's not only that, right? And like recently, remember, I think I sent you this, right? Everybody knows you're only a striker, right? Why are you going to buy Superman?
I think he wants to revamp the midfield. I don't know. He wants to bring Spain to England, I think.
Why? Do you need another midfielder?
Something I don't understand, bro. They made a bid for Gyökeres already. Like yesterday.
But Gyökeres want to go, man.
He wants Champions League football. What?
Yeah, he wants Champions League football, but what's the guarantee that even like
they can, bro. After last night,
others won't come calling.
Real Madrid don't need him, bro. And if they do, there's no space for him.
Yeah, but Barcelona, because Lewandowski older already.
Yeah, I think he will be the most sought after player this summer.
Yeah, 100%. We are not getting him, man. I don't see it.
Yep.
So we might get him if we win the Europa League.
No guarantees after that last.
But no guarantees. So because it's Champions League football. So yeah, I think Champions League's done. Let's move on to the Europa League, right? We're not going to go too much in depth about the Europa League because I think it was inevitable. Everybody kind of expected, like, it was Spurs going to go through. Man United, I think the moment that Inaki Williams and Nico Williams both got injured, you kind of saw the writing on the wall.
But still not confirmed, right? That kind
it's still
I watched the game,
right? But it was more or less like you can
take off the pressure.
Give United a bit more like favor already because the fact that their two star players are not there, right?
Yep.
But I know the fact that it was like until the substitutions were made, right? United were just horrible.
Yeah, they conceded the first goal, right? Then when Bilbao scored the first goal, I was like, okay,
it started
already. Yeah. Then it's like, how many times have you seen when we concede first, right? They will pan the camera to Onana, right? Fixing his socks.
Yep.
It's like written in the sky. I'm gonna say, okay, like he conceded, they're gonna pan to Onana, like fixing his like kid, Then he really was like trying to fix his sock, as if the sock was the problem the entire time,
I don't know but he wasn't injured, right?
No.
Then why did he play yesterday?
I think just give Bayern a chance.
Okay but yesterday not by India's fault. Yesterday was just poor defending. I don't want to say anything.
Don't even get me started yesterday.
That one, don't need to talk about it.
Yeah, so, but then either way, we equalized and then we scored a very nice goal by Mason Mount.
Yeah.
2 goals by him, actually. Yeah. The Forbidden 9 has scored.
The Forbidden 9.
And like the goal wasn't like he's doing.
No,
it was Ahmad's.
It wasn't his doing. It was Ahmad's doing. Yeah. It was like the version of like Speed assisting Kai Cenat during the Sideman charity game.
It's like he had no idea what he was doing. Like
he had no idea what he was doing. It's just that the ball was just going into the net. Yep. So like I think right, like I think it's expected that this was the Europa League final, right? I think by the time United kind of scored the first goal.
No, we just needed to score that one.
Yeah, once we scored that one goal,
then
right,
can already.
I think you kind of knew that it was going to be Spurs versus United in the Europa League final, right? Spurs, I think if Spurs lost to Bodo Glimt, right, that would be a bit more embarrassing. So Spurs kind of going through didn't really like. I don't know like it felt like it was inevitable for their side already. Like theirs was more or less confirmed rather than the United side. So I mean, we're not going to talk about the finals this week. But Europa League final is going to be Spurs against United, right? 16 versus 17 for a Champions League spot. Which like I wanna bring this up to you, right? And I'm gonna ask you this before we move on to our summary and then we close off the episode, right? I wanna ask you, right? Like, is the argument correct in terms of Europa League winners not getting a Champions League spot?
Is the argument what? Correct.
Is it a valid argument that
it's not valid, bro.
That Europa League winners should get automatic direction back into the Europa League.
No, but it's not a valid argument. There's no argument in there. Why is that even a why is that even a debate? If this is a debate, it has been going on for like how many years, bro? Since Alex Ferguson times, 2010. Yeah.
I agree.
In any kind of league or championship, right, there should be a demotion and a promotion.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you win the Europa League, it's only logical that you should be promoted to the Champions League,
Yeah.
because you are in a way like best of the rest. And last time, okay, if that's the case, right, then last time why people got demoted from Champions League, right, and then they still get a chance to go and take part in Europa League.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it shouldn't even be a debate, lah. I don't understand why people are saying all this.
It's because it's all the Arsenal people saying.
Or it's just because Man U and Spurs is.
It's because it's Man U and
Europa
Spurs.
final.
Like legit.
If it was Arsenal in the Europa League final, we work to where we get from, that kind of thing.
Yep.
So I don't know. It shouldn't even be a argument, lah, bro.
No, it's not only that. It's like there's teams that have done this multiple times have benefited from it. I can name like Sevilla. Sevilla has done it at least 4 or 5 times.
They will win Europa. No, they will get demoted from Champions League.
They win Europa League, then
go back to
the Champions League,
then get demoted again.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's like their sustainable model,
Yeah,
it's their model.
Their sustainable model, right? Because Sevilla will end up getting the money from the Europa League.
Yep.
Then they get the Champions League participation money as well. But the thing is that now people are saying that because there's no demotion from the Champions League to the Europa League anymore, they're saying that it's a much easier. It's much easier. But to me, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So if you're also salty about it, why don't you all just qualify for Europa League?
Yeah.
Right. Why wouldn't if that's the way, then you all don't take part in Champions League, you all take part in Europa League.
Which I don't know Like I don't know where all this like nonsense.
But you need to see.
Started
they need to understand that we didn't ask to be put in the Europa League.
Neither
we qualified from the FA Cup. Yeah. So to us, it's actually a longer process. We take 2 years to qualify to the Champions League. Right. We enter through we never even enter through league position. We enter through the domestic way, right? Yeah.
Domestic way.
So it's a 2-year qualification process from the FA Cup.
And the thing is that there's no guarantee.
Yeah, you need to win you need to actually win the Europa League. Yeah.
And the thing is that United have lost 3 games against Spurs this year.
Yep.
So
if they were so salty about it, right, and if it was so easy to win what you call that, a Europa League, right? Why is there only one team per year can do it, right?
Yeah.
And
correct.
why is it not like English teams all the time?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So I don't understand. They're just salty, bro, that they got knocked out of Champions League. I'm sorry, this is why Arsenal fans are insufferable. It's a disclaimer, bro. Right.
No, and not only that, right? Like, I think let's just go back to EPL before we close it off, right? Like,
okay, wait. So no. In the start of the episode, you also asked, like, is it undeserving for Man U and Spurs to be in the Europa final, given their league position, right?
Yeah.
I don't think so. There's a reason why Man United, right, the only team unbeaten in Europe, not even Europa, Europe. So including Inter Milan and PSG, right? Man U is the only team that is unbeaten in Europe. What kind of team can say that?
No, it's
and
true,
then to say that Man U is undeserving to be in Europa League final, bro, the record speaks for itself, lah. We did not lose a single game in Europe this year.
Yep.
So, is it really that shocking for the team that is unbeaten to be in the final?
I tell you, like you said before, no matter what people say, right, like the talking point will be Man United because Man United garners views.
Yeah. But okay, maybe if you say, given their league position, they shouldn't be in the Europa League final. But they are 2 different competitions.
Yeah.
So I think Man United at a certain point decided to put all the eggs in Europa League.
Europa League basket.
Yeah.
Europa League basket.
It's been proven. I think even Mourinho's first season was like that.
Yep.
He gave up the league. He went to gun for the Europa League final, and then he win it. Yeah. So
correct.
At a certain point, we can it's actually say the same about Arsenal. Lor. They give up the league to go for Champions League,
and then
they lost. Then they're making noise. Yeah.
Now they're making noise and it's gonna blow up in their face, right? Because I'm gonna bring it up, like 2-2. They drew against Liverpool. Give a guard honor. Now
they say a well executed guard honor, bro.
Now there's a chance, right? They don't even get automatic qualification to the Champions League.
Okay, so now there's a
Newcastle.
thing,
Okay, so example, right? Newcastle's gonna play Arsenal this coming week. They're gonna play Newcastle. Newcastle's gonna play Arsenal, right? Man City is gonna play Bournemouth.
Okay.
So Man City is gonna play Bournemouth, right? I think they're likely going to win that game. I don't think it's much of a problem. Chelsea is going to play Man United, which probably they're going to win. So if let's say that happens, right? Chelsea goes close to Arsenal in 6 points. Newcastle beats Arsenal, right? They go ahead. Man City beats Bournemouth, right? They're tied on points. Arsenal could go fifth.
No, so that's the thing, bro. Yesterday, when I watched the Liverpool game, they were down 2-0.
Yeah.
And then if they had lost the game, right, bro, I tell you, if they had lost yesterday's game, right, they would be. I don't think they will even make it automatic qualification. But now they got the one extra point yesterday, right?
Yeah.
They just need to win their last game. They can lose the Newcastle game, right? They win their last game, they automatically qualify already.
It's also because Aston Villa lost their game.
Aston Villa won, what?
Oh yeah, Aston Villa won. Sorry.
Yeah, Aston Villa won. So, bro, they were they got the 1 point yesterday. Because if they didn't get that 1 point yesterday, right, Spurs and Newcastle and Man City, they win, right, they will be second and third respectively. So Arsenal will have got to fourth. But that one crucial point yesterday, will take means that teams like Chelsea and Villa, maximum points is 69. Arsenal just need 1 point to win. 1 point to get the last qualification spot.
Correct.
So I think they will still get it lah. It's just that whether they will finish second is another thing.
No, that's the thing. Like, can you imagine, right? Like, I regardless of whether they get into that, right? I'm just gonna say this, like you think about it. You go through all of that just to focus on the Champions League. You lose you get knocked out of the Champions League. Then you get knocked out of the Champions League, right? And then you ended up in fourth, in a position where you should have been guaranteed second.
Yeah. Bro, I can see the top 4 fight is so hot now.
Yeah.
It's like the only thing watching, like leaving people to watch the league now. The last two games.
Which is why, right, the only time I'm going to agree with predicting in my heart, right, is basically this. Until the season finishes, right, then I'm probably just going to wait and see who's going to...
Until the last game.
Until the last game. So, okay, because...
Can I just say, I think Nottingham will not make it, really.
No,
after yesterday's result, yeah.
They won't really. But good fight.
Good fight. Do you see the owner? He went to the field to confront Nuno. Bro, after Nuno, what Nuno did for Nottingham Forest this year, I think it's a bit uncalled for lah.
They're probably going to Europa League or Conference League. I think so. Yeah. So I don't think there's much of an issue lah. So, bro, with that, you got anything else to add? I think that's what we conclude already lah. We got no match of the week lah.
Yeah, there's no match of the week. So
I feel that like.
Oh wait, next week FA Cup, bro. FA Cup final, Man City versus Crystal Palace.
Man City win.
Man City, bro.
Yeah, that one, I got no question.
For Man City to have such a crappy season, but still have a chance at
this is the only prediction, right? Like, I am confident to say out loud.
Man City, yeah.
Just Man City win.
It's actually, to be honest, they did quite well to recover their season, right?
Yeah.
The entire November, December, January was like a shambolic period.
I mean, considering the fact that where they were and where they are now, right, is significantly better lah. Yeah. So I don't have much to say. But yeah, bro, I think that's it lah.
I think last thing to say, bro. 17 league defeats and 20 league defeats respectively is relegation status.
Yeah,
we are just lucky. This Ipswich, Leicester, and Southampton never win more games.
Yeah.
Right. If they won more games, bro, we've been dragged down to the.
Yeah, and like I will say this lah. Like, I think I'm gonna keep my Man United rant on episode after the
Europa League.
After the Europa League, everything.
Yeah, depending on how that goes.
Depending on how that goes, right? I'm just gonna go like on that rant at the end of the season, right? And I will just basically say my piece before the transfer window, because I think we need.
I think after the season end, we do a rating for each team, like how well the season went. Oh, 5 stars, maybe lah. You know that. Yeah,
you. There's only one team that currently I will need to talk about, right? Which is the logo, right? Then we can do that. We can do that ranking thing. Okay.
All right, man.
So with that is it for this week's episode of the Futbol Kaki. All right, so that is it for this week's episode of the Futbol Kaki, brought to you by the Chit Chatter Podcast Network. Now, for those of you who are tuning in, we just want to say thank you, and we hope that you continue to watch our other shows, which of course are the Copy Bros every Monday, where we come together and talk about fun and trivial topics. And if you do like game shows, we do have the SG Draft Podcast every Friday, where we come together and draft about different topics. You, the fans, have the power to vote for your favorite teams every Friday for the draft. So go ahead to our Instagram stories and vote for your favorite team. So with that, we just want to say thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Futbol Kaki. For those of you who are celebrating Vesak Day today, or the past week when the episode comes out, we just wish you a happy Vesak Day. And with that, yeah, bro, anything else to add before you conclude this episode?
Where's Martin? No shoulder guard.
Ale. Don't blame it on the Tifo. Ale. All right, so thank you, everybody. Have a great week ahead. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Your camera went out of focus.
Yeah, the camera went out of focus. So bye-bye.